Do you want more great content from me? Check out the description box down below.
Hi guys, it's Adam and welcome to another reselling sales update. So just before we begin, I just wanted to do a very quick introduction for those who are maybe new to the channel or who obviously are finding this video for the first time. So essentially, my reselling sales updates are maybe a little bit different to other people's because I just get really random stuff. I'm sure there are other people out there as well who get really random stuff and show it on their sales updates, but my stuff is really just random stuff. It's mainly ceramics and glassware and pottery and like tree items and wooden items and stuff, mainly focused on that sort of antiques and collectibles niche. But some of the items I get are just random, just completely random. But what I can say is you will pick up some good knowledge surrounding those items if you watch the videos. If antiques and collectibles and that sort of niche isn't your thing, then maybe I'm not the channel for you. But what I would suggest is you go on YouTube and obviously search, well, you'll already be on YouTube, but I suggest you use the search bar and maybe search for people like Nick Hills, Ben Fitzpatrick, Sparrow's End, Sue's Pals of Shame, Steve Green Adventure. Loads of different people are on YouTube who do toys and games and other different things. But if you are eccentric, if you are weird, if you are maybe not even weird, but you just like the thought of dealing in antiques and collectibles, then this is the channel for you. Let's get on with it. Let's see what we've sold this week. I also wanted to state as well, I buy mainly from auctions. I buy the job lots from auctions, the sort of the banana boxes of random stuff. And generally what I do on these sales updates is work out a sort of individual item cost that one item owes me from the larger job lots. So that's what I'm going to do in today's video. And I always like to try and overestimate that individual item cost as well, so I'm not misleading anyone into thinking that I've paid less for something than I actually have. So essentially, with that all being said, all that sort of ramble, we shall get on with this sales update. So first off, we've got this large 24% lead crystal Bohemian glass decanter, sort of for whiskey, brandy, gin, that sort of stuff. As you can see, the box is a little bit roughed up here, but obviously that didn't put off the person who was buying this. I didn't actually get the full price of $24.49. I actually accepted an offer of $19.99 plus the $6.49 Hermes shipping, which I was more than happy with because this works out about £2 in an auction job lot. More than happy with that. Great margin on that. Obviously over £10 net profit there, so more than happy with that one. Lovely sale, great things to pick up in the auction job lots. You can get good money for these, and with a certain maker, obviously some of these decanters, well, they can go up into the hundreds of pounds, but more than likely you're probably going to find them where, you know, in auction job lots that are maybe £30 to £50, maybe the odd £60 or £70 one as well, if it's got a decent name to it. So yeah, quite a nice sale there. Next is another item. Now this intrigued me. It's got a little bit of a Gothic looking style here to the handles and stuff, and these little oh, what are they called? I always forget what they're called, but those little sort of studs on the side of it, I forgot what they're called. Oh, the name of them's just gone away from me, but essentially it's really cool. It's got like a little bit of a Gothic style to it. Well, at least I think that anyway. So I wasn't sure whether this was antique or vintage, but I did put both in the title. I'm leaning more towards this would be antique rather than just vintage. I do feel like this piece is probably more than 100 years old, but I wasn't categorical on that fact. I wasn't 100% sure of that. But as you can see, it's a twin-handled Tazza here, Pedestal Bowl, and I got 40 quid plus postage for that. More than happy with that. Again, this probably owes me about £4 in a job lot. I actually paid up on this job lot because it had like a good array of nice pewter items, including this one. I think I paid about £25 or £30 plus commission for the entire job lot, and maybe there was about 10 items in there, something like that. But there were some nice items in there, and this obviously pays for the job lot anyway. But if we're working it out as an individual cost, I would say about £3 or £4 for this item. So very happy with that. $39.99 plus my postage. Nice looking item, and you can see the height there as well. It's not very high, really, not very tall, but yeah, quite a nice little item there. So next was something that I got from a household auction. So essentially there's two different types of auctions, if you don't know. There's like the more, there's kind of like general auction houses that are more focused on antiques and collectibles, and then there's general auction houses that may go the same name, you know, just a general auction house, but they're more focused on household items and just general sort of tat and stuff like that. So this was from an auction house that was sort of a, you know, a household auction house, and those boxes that you get them for a really knocked down price, because generally there's only one or two items in those lots that are worth any money. So obviously this item cost me pence, it hardly cost me anything, but this was from one of those auction houses, and it did sit around for a while. It sat around for maybe 6 or 8 months, something like that, so it wasn't a quick sale by any means, but it finally went for £23.74 plus mass postage, so I was fairly happy with that. You know, considering it cost me pence, I'm more than happy with the margin. I just wish it would have taken, you know, a little bit less time to sell, but with something like this, it's a bit different, you know, it's obviously going to take a while to sell. And I don't know whether I mentioned, but it's some vintage sort of paint rollers, which are quite intriguing actually, because as you can see, it's got some age to it there. It's quite a unique item really. So yeah, that was quite a nice little sale there. Next was this vintage Italian studio pottery sort of embellished cup or mug. Now I always get these kind of things, not necessarily in the form of mugs, but usually in the form of plates, and generally they're either Italian or they're Portuguese or they're Spanish, and generally you know, they've got quite a lot of colour to them. Maybe the plates are reticulated, or you know, they're kind of larger plates as well. There's a lot of these style things that are more like kind of local studio pottery, opposed to, you know, a big name studio potter. So essentially, I always stick these on anywhere between about £10 and £20. You know, £20 being for the larger plates that are a bit more detailed, and then maybe £10 for these cups and you know, studio pottery cups and you know, smaller little ceramic sort of plates. So obviously I just whack this on at £10 plus postage. I can guarantee if you put a fair price on some of this stuff, it will go. It might take a while to go, but it will sell eventually. And as you can see, I got £10 plus postage of this, and it did actually go pretty quick, this one. It probably about a month, something like that. So I wasn't waiting about 5, 6, 7 months or whatever for this one. So it went in a decent time frame, probably helped by the amount of you know, keywords and titling I did on this item as well. So that was that one there. Next were a pair of brass candelabras. I actually got these from a car boot a long time ago, so I actually accepted a low offer of about 22. It was either $22.49 or $22.99 on these items, plus my $6.99 postage as well on top. But I actually got these ages ago at a car boot, and they just didn't seem to be going at the £30 mark. So maybe I overshot on price a little bit. I picked these up for £6, thinking obviously I could get £30, but unfortunately I didn't quite get that. But I'm still happy because I'm still in profit on them. A little bit of profit there. And obviously then I can reinvest that into another item. Still a decent level of profit, but I just would have liked to hit that £30 plus postage instead of, you know, £30 in total kind of thing. But still, they were quite nice items. Nothing really out there, but still, you know, quite nice, quite well made and everything. But as I say, nothing... not the best candelabras or anything, but they're quite nice little items. So next was this vintage Dalton Berlin blue hand embellished small decorative pot. Again, you can see with my titles, and this is something that I preach on these sales updates quite a lot, is really filling your titles out with as many keywords as you can, thinking outside the box and trying just to chuck as many keywords in there as you can, because that really does. I honestly truly believe that is the reason that some of my items do sell quite quickly. Just filling out that, you know, that title box with as many words as you can. Obviously I could have put gilt in the title as well, but I chose to put embellished instead, because this sort of gilt that's on here, this gold, I actually believe that this is sort of hand embellished after they had hand painted this item. It certainly does look like it to me when I was handling the item. Seems like that it was embellished after it was hand painted, and that is really quite a nice item. I really did like that. Again, came in an auction job lot. Cost me maybe 3 or 4 quid, this one. Again, it was in a slightly more expensive job lot, because this is quite a nice piece. So again, cost me a little bit more than the average, but £24.99 plus £3.49 postage. Again, it didn't go it went pretty quickly. It didn't hang around or anything, so I was really happy with that one. And as you can see here, it's got quite a nice design. I really did like this piece. It's not very tall at all, 14 centimeters there, and there is the mark. It looks like it does certainly have a good bit of age to it as well. So yeah, quite happy with that one. Really nice looking piece. And yeah, I'd love to pick something up like that in the future again. Got those colours that I absolutely love, the sort of the deep blue and then that gilt gold on there. I absolutely love that. But yeah, really happy with that that piece there. Next was something that and if you've been watching my sales update for any amount of time, you will know that every now and then I forget where I even picked up an item or what I even paid for an item, because once you've been doing this for quite a while and you pick up so many items, you'll be in the same boat as me where you think, oh my god, that item, so I didn't even know where I got that from. I completely forgot where I got it from. So this is one of those items. I really don't know where I got it from, and it turns out to be one of the most, I think it is the most expensive item on this sales update that I would forget where I got it from. But I'm guessing that it must have been from an auction house, I know that. And I'm guessing I didn't pay tons for it, because it is a nice looking canteen case, but obviously it's in need of restoration. It's not got any insides in there or anything, so I don't think I would have paid maybe more than £15 plus commission for this. But yeah, I really don't know. It's got like a little plain brass cartouche in the middle there. It's not got any engraving or anything on the actual cartouche itself. It's just a plain one, but it is slightly raised up actually. You might be able to see that in the photo. But yeah, it does need some work, so I can't see me paying loads for this. But maximum maybe £15 plus commission at the auction. And I actually accepted an offer of £45, so only a couple of quid below my asking price. I thought I'm more than happy to accept that. And then I put £9.95 Hermes on there, and I think it might have only cost me, yeah, it must have only cost me £6.49 this, so I might have made a little bit of money on the postage there, which is always nice. But it's always good to overestimate your postage if you're a bit worried on where that postage is going to come in at. So yeah, I might have made a little bit of money on the postage there, so I'm more than happy with that. If it turns out that I did pay what I'm thinking would be the maximum I would have paid on this, which would be £15 plus commission, then obviously I've made a decent margin on this anyway. But truly, it's one of those items that I've just completely had a blank on, and I don't remember where I got it from. I know it must have been about 7, 8, 9 months ago now. So yeah, it must have been a little bit of a while ago, but I just can't remember. I haven't a clue. But it must have come from an auction at some point. So next is this Vintage the Great Balloon Race board game. Now, I've had this board game 3 times, and I think one time I sold it for a similar amount as this here, so £23 plus my postage, £24. I had it once and I sold it for about £34.99 plus postage, and it seems like the price has come down somewhat on this, which is unfortunate because this was quite a sought after board game. I think it still is quite a sought after board game, but I think it could command, you know, maybe a year ago you could command a little bit more than this, and it seems like I've slowly had to drop the price on this over the course of the last few months until we're now at this point of £23.74 plus postage when it is obviously sold, which I think I paid £2 for this one. I know I paid £1 for one of them. I paid I think I paid £2 for one, and I think this one was another one that cost me £2. So still, a decent margin on it, but it's just a shame because I wanted to sell this for more. I wanted to shoot for maybe 40 quid on this, and I think that might have been the original price I shot for because I was trying to push the boat out on this one and try and see how much I could sell this for, but unfortunately it just seems like maybe prices have come down a little bit on this board game. But maybe I could have waited another few months or whatever. Maybe I would have got 30, 35 quid for this. I'm not sure, but seemed like it wasn't as popular as it was maybe a year ago. So yeah, still a nice board game. That's still worth picking up, obviously. Obviously, if you can get it in a charity shop or car boot for a couple of quid, or maybe even an auction job lot. But yeah, just not the price I wanted. I wanted a little bit more. This also came from the Pewter job lot, the same one as this Tazza over here. And this was, well, I wasn't too sure. I kind of asked a few people, I asked around a little bit, a few people who maybe know a little bit more than me on metalware and stuff, and I came to the conclusion, or we all came to the conclusion, of that this, the photos aren't showing now. What? The photos aren't showing now? What's gone on? Oh, well that's a bit annoying, isn't it? But essentially, there we go, right. Right, there we go. So it's got this like little, it's sort of like a little bowl, and then what it's got is this little hanger on it as well. Let's flick back. So it's got a little hanger on it as if to hang it up somewhere. And we came to the conclusion that it might be a church collection bowl or plate or whatever. So I put that in the title just thinking that might be what it is. And after a couple of weeks, no, not even that, I think after about a week, it sold for $19.99 plus postage. So whether I undersold this or not, I'm not sure. Maybe this would have, maybe I could have got sort of 30 quid for this, I'm not sure. But yeah, it went pretty quickly, this actually. I think it did go within a week. So yeah, quite happy with that one. Again, this was in the Pewter job lot, so essentially that job lot's done and dusted, paid for now, so obviously this will be profit, so I'm quite happy with that anyway. But obviously if you feel like you could have achieved more, it's always a niggle. You're thinking, oh, I wish I would have put more on that. But yeah, I was quite interested with this item because I didn't know what it was, and I actually put off listing it for about a month or so because I really wasn't sure what it was. But yeah, so yeah, I just put church collection bowl in there. Maybe that keyword of church collection bowl or something, maybe that helped it out to help it to sell. But yeah, that was that one anyway. And then finally was something that's a little bit more generalist, a little bit more of the usual kind of sales that a lot of other people show. This is just a large 20 book bundle of the Rainbow Magic Fairy books. Did I get these off? I think I got these off another reseller actually who was having a clear out. I believe I paid on these. It was either, I either paid him 10 pence a book or 20 pence a book on these. I'm not 100% sure. So it would either be, what's that about? Either £2 cost to me or £4 cost to me, something like that anyway. And I obviously got $17.99, so 18 quid plus my postage on these, which I'm more than happy about. Again, just getting these out kind of thing. But yeah, that's a bit of a generalist sale in there. I forgot I added this one in at the end. So yeah, I think it was another reseller I got these off actually, now I come to think of it. So yeah, quite happy with that sale there. I don't usually pick up books, children's books anymore, but sometimes I will. Obviously, if I get offered job lots of things and we're in there, then I'm going to obviously take them. So, yeah, quite happy with that sale. Nice little sale there to end the sales update. So, I will leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. And if you haven't already, please do like the video if you enjoyed it. And I will see you very soon for another one.